Hey y'all, I'm Jenna from the Flip Flop Barnyard, and I am really excited to be joining in the Savor the Scraps collaboration put on by Miss Katie over at Heritage Ways. I will link a playlist below. I believe there's like 16 channels that are participating in this, and it's all about teaching you new ideas for what to do with leftovers or to stretch food, because I think everybody's been home for a while now, cooking a lot of food, and they're probably cooking a lot of the same things and getting bored. I don't actually have leftovers to show you what we're going to do with, but my idea for this was that I will show you how you can make a one chicken stretch. I have two here, obviously not one, but that's because we're a family of 10. We have 8 kids, so we have a lot of mouths to feed. One chicken doesn't really go very far for us. So since I'm cooking a chicken, I'm going to go ahead and cook 2 because we're going to be eating them. But you can just take the ideas and cook 1 at a time, or if you're a large family, you can cook 2 at a time. My goal here is to show you how we use a chicken and give you ideas for other meals that you can use a chicken with. So first, we're just going to roast these, and then once we roast them, I will show them to you. We'll bring them out of the oven, and sometimes we'll just eat roast chicken and cook some vegetables, and that's a really simple, easy meal. And then other than that, we'll debone them after they're cooled. Don't try to debone them while they're super hot. We like to fully debone them. It makes it really easy to just use the meat after that. You can just eat it. And then I will just discuss some other ideas and what we will do with our leftover chicken after our family eats. So let's get started. To roast chicken, you can do a lot of things. You can season with a lot of things. I typically go pretty simple. I cover them with oil. I'm going to use olive oil today. Sometimes I use avocado oil or coconut oil. Usually avocado or olive oil is my choice for chickens. It works really well, so I'll coat the chickens with that, and then I just, most of the time I just do salt, pink Himalayan salt, and just some pepper. Today I'm going to try something different. I bought this. I've heard really good things about the seasoning. It's everything bagel seasoning. It smells really good, so we're just going to go with it and try it. I hear it's good on a lot of things. Another couple of seasonings I really like is Trader Joe's. I think it's like a 21 herb mix seasoning. I don't have any on hand. We don't live close to a Trader Joe's. Occasionally we make a trip, and unfortunately I went a couple weeks ago and completely forgot to buy it. And then other than that, I like Bragg's 24 herb blend seasoning. It's really good, and I think I can get it locally, but I wasn't able to find it at the store the other day, so I went ahead and picked this up, and I'm gonna just coat these chickens. I got helpers in the background. See, I just eyeball it. I don't have a recipe. I put probably close to a tablespoon in my hand, and then I drizzle it on, and you just want to coat it really good, especially the skin, because you want that skin to cook up really nice and crispy and flavorful, because it just makes it all that much better. I need a helper real quick. Do I have a volunteer? Because my hands are covered in raw chicken. Will you grab the olive oil, baby doll? Okay. Don't drop it. It's a lot of olive oil. Thank you. And then pour a little bit in Mommy's hand over this chicken. Okay, perfect. Good job. You can just set that back down. I'll switch sides with you. All right. Just give it a good once-over massage. Every chicken deserves a good massage. And I put mine on this cookie sheet with just a little metal rack to keep it from sticking too much to the cookie sheet. This wasn't the metal rack that I normally use. I think that one kind of got messed up. It bent and broke. Finally, I need to get a new one. But this will do. It will suffice. Sometimes you can just bake it straight on here, or you can bake it in a casserole dish or a roaster, whatever you have. If I'm doing just one chicken, I actually use like a cast iron Dutch oven sometimes, and that works really well. Anyway, all right, these are nice and coated. I'm going to go wash my hands real quick so that I can finish seasoning them. All right, my hands are clean. So now I'm just going to use some pink salt. This is not a good salt shaker, but it's what we had. It's an empty spice jar, so we just put it in here, but it's got really big holes. I need to get a salt shaker. So I'm just going to lightly salt it. Well, sort of lightly. Like.
You're only talking.
Alright, I just lightly salted it because the other seasoning does have some salt in it, and I don't know how much and how salty it is. Usually those kind of seasonings don't have enough salt for my liking. Alright, and then just a little black pepper, not too much. That seasoning does not have any pepper in it. And sometimes I just use salt and pepper because I think it's really good that way too. Sometimes I just like something really super simple. And depending on what you're going to use your chicken for will also kind of help decide what spices you want to use. Alright. And then last but not least, smells, I'm making a mess. You guys, I'm a messy cook, so I don't think I'm even going to apologize for that because it is who I am as a person. I can't help it. I would say I come by it honest, but I can't say that because my mom is not a messy cook. She cleans up as she goes. Me, I'm like flour everywhere, stuff everywhere, and then it's like a bomb off. I'm like, man, I gotta clean this up. Oh well. Alright, so we preheated the oven to 350. It's actually not all the way preheated, but it's not gonna hurt it to go in there before it's done. I lowered my rack down to 1 below the center rack because I don't want my skin to burn. I want it to get nice and crispy, but if it's a little bit higher, it might burn. I'm gonna close this up, and this is probably gonna cook for close to 2 hours. I will check it at 1.5 hours, but those are pretty big chickens. So they're both like 5 3/4 pound chickens. So they'll probably go 1 hour and 45 minutes to 1 hour to 2 hours. I'll check it at 1.5 hours. You're shooting for 165 degree internal temp. For poultry, you want it to be finished to that. So I'll check them. I will throw out there that we raise most of our own meat, or we try to raise all of our own meat, but you know, sometimes we run out of chicken or we run out of pork or beef, so we have to buy some. And we have chickens we're raising right now, meat birds, but they are not ready to butcher, so we did go with store-bought chickens. So our chickens are usually around 5 pounds, a little bit smaller. That's what I'm used to working with, but I think these will be great. And anyway, I will check back with you in a couple of hours when this is done, and I think in the meantime I'm going to go sew. Okay, we're back with these chickens, and they actually only took 1.5 hours to cook. I was really surprised because with them being so big, I thought they were going to take a lot longer, and I temped them in multiple places, in the thigh, underneath, through the breast meat, everywhere, and it was all over 165 degrees. So it's done. I did go ahead and broil them afterwards because I wanted the skin to get nice and crispy and brown. I kept watching them, and I did get almost too far just because the seasoning started burning. This one has a little dark spot, but that's fine. So the seasoning did burn a little bit. Hopefully it'll be fine. It should be. It smells amazing. The whole time, I've got little ones in the background. The whole time that it was cooking, the kids were like, what are we eating? I'm so hungry. And my stomach's actually growling because it smells so good, and we'll be ready to eat here in a bit. But anyways, I do want to point out that if you're cooking whole chickens from the store, you definitely want to check inside the cavity before you cook them, because a lot of times they'll put like the organ meat in there and leave it in there because people use it, you know, to cook, you know, make your gravy, or if you want to put in your stock or just eat it, whatever. So you don't want to leave that in. These were in plastic bags, so that would have been really gross. But I left them inside. It would have just ruined our meat and been stinky and awful. So I just want to remind you to look for that. Hi, Hopi. I see you. So anyway, I'm going to let these sit here and cool and rest a little bit, and then I'm going to come back and talk to you about how we're going to utilize the meat and all the things you can do. You can do a lot with just 1 chicken, or as for us, 2 chickens. We're going to use 2, but there's multiple meals you can make out of this and use the bones as well. So I'm really excited to share that with you. But for now, we're just going to let these sit here and smell really good and listen to my stomach growl for a while. Alright, I'm back. I'm actually wearing a different shirt. You probably noticed in the last video clip, and went outside, it's raining, and my other shirt got wet, so I had to change. But we have some really exciting news. We had a pig that was ready to have piglets any day now, and she had her piglets today. So that's completely beside the point, but we're really, really excited about that. She had 7 cute little piglets. So I kind of had to take a pause from cooking and doing this. Thankfully, it's something that didn't require a lot of attention. I just kind of dropped it and left it and took off out to the barn and hung out for a while, made sure everything went well with her, and she did really well. And her little pigs are so cute. Anyway, so I just wanted to show you, we have all of our chicken ready. We've kind of just deboned it and kind of pulled it apart. We're going to chop it some more, and we're actually going to go ahead and make chicken salad out of this whole batch. I was going to do maybe some roast chicken earlier for everybody, but then with the pig having piglets is kind of thrown off the plan, so we're just gonna make chicken salad out of it, and that way we have food for today and tomorrow. And we're making, I don't know if you guys can see or not, but I've got yeast rolls rising there in the oven, so we'll have little yeast rolls to eat our chicken salad on. So, and then I've got right here, and I'll show you this in a minute up close because it looks really beautiful. See that? Alright, that is the makings of bone broth. And what I did for this, after I deboned the chicken, I put the carcass, all the bones, all the little scraps in here, and in my pan that I cooked it on, the cookie sheet, I just put all the drippings and I scraped all of that off in here. The extra bits of skin that nobody was going to eat and all that I put in here. And then I added a couple of carrots, a little bit of celery, I put a little bit of garlic, some peppercorns, salt, and a bay leaf broke up in there. You can also add a little bit of apple cider vinegar, like just maybe half a tablespoon or something. That helps draw the nutrients out of the bones. And I will add that to it. I just forgot to do it. I was going to. Then this will go in either, this is I think my Ninja Foodie, but if you have and I have an Instant Pot too. So either one, and it cooks for, you can cook it on high for about 2 hours or low for 3 hours. I don't really know that there's much difference between the two. I usually cook it on high because then it's done sooner. And then I let it do its own depressuring afterwards, depressurizing, and I think that takes like 20 or 30 minutes. So, and then once that's done, I go and I'll strain this through a fine mesh strainer, so all the little bits of anything get strained out completely, and then you can either put this in baggies and freeze it in the freezer, or you can, if you make enough and make big batches, you can can it. I won't fire up the canner for this little bit, plus we'll use it, and it stores in the fridge for several days to, I think, about a week. I would look that up first just to be on the safe side, but anyway, but what I was going to say, the great thing about bone broth is that you can cook your chicken, debone it, or eat part of it, whatever you want to do, and then you can stick the rest in a baggie, refrigerate it, you can make your bone broth, and then you have soup. You can just make chicken soup with it, chicken noodle soup, chicken vegetable soup, whatever you want to do, or if you want to make, I was just going to give you ideas for what you can do with your chicken. You can do chicken pot pie, which would also take bone broth, and you can what I would do is split my chicken up into meal portions, and then if you know you're going to use it pretty soon, you can put it in a container in the fridge, or if you want to have it on hand for a quick meal, like just you have it ready to go, it's already cooked, you can just stick it in the freezer. So we like to make chicken salad and chicken pot pie, and you can actually put shredded chicken on a salad, not chicken salad, but like lettuce and all of that. It's really good. And soups, you can do, like I said, you can do chicken noodle, you can do chicken dumplings, you can do chicken and rice is always good, or like a chicken risotto, which is similar to chicken and rice. You can take your chicken meat and make it like taco style and use it for tacos or burritos, or you can make nachos. I mean, basically chicken is so versatile, you can do anything with it. But if you you can just utilize one chicken, and depending on the size of your family, you can make 2, 3, and possibly even 4 meals out of it for your family, and make it really stretched. So that's really awesome. That's kind of the point I wanted to get across to you, was that you can take one chicken and make it way more exciting than just chicken. And you can take you make broth out of it, which is going to be really awesome. This is going to make a really nutrient dense broth, so you can even you'll want to dilute it probably as you use it. It probably is about 50% water, 50% broth. That's how I use it, because it's really, really rich and it's really, really good. So I hope that you really enjoyed this and learned something new and have been given more ideas for how to use your chicken and what you can do to make it stretch for your family. Alright, I think that about wraps it up for the chicken. I really had fun doing this and sharing with you, and it's going to be a really yummy meal here in a little bit when we finish fixing it. And I just want to encourage you to please go check out all the other channels, because you can get some really great ideas for meals cooked for your family and what to do with your leftovers, how to make your food stretch. And a big thank you to Miss Katie over at Heritage Ways for putting this together and including us. This has been really fun, and we hope that you will be blessed and enjoy cooking for your family.